Hello, and welcome to another edition of Soul Issues, the show that's about everything soul. That's soul music, soul food, soul clothing, and most definitely soul attitude. I'm the host with the most, Reggie Saunders, and today's edition is a healing edition. We're going to be spreading lots of love, lots of peace, lots of beauty, and I'm sure this is what you need right now, so here it is. My guest today comes from a land of peace and love. No matter where she lives, this is where she lives. She lives in the land of peace and love. Please put your hands together for my friend and soon to be yours, Mabinty San. Mabinty San, how are you doing?
I'm good. Thank you.
Great to see you.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Hey, this is a pleasure. I feel healed already. And like I said, I really feel that I portrayed your voice, portrayed your demeanor correctly when I said the person that has the healing voice. And I really feel that you have that. I've always felt that you had that. When you were singing like contemporary songs and stuff like that, you had this type of, this thing about it when you sang. It made the listeners want to stop what they were doing and really like pay attention.
Oh, thank you.
So that's a beautiful quality that you have, and I'm glad to have been privy to it and to be privy to it today.
Thank you so much.
So let's jump right into it. Tell me about your, speaking of the healing voice, tell me about the connection with this root of healing voice, do you feel that your voice is also healing in the sense of, without being, you could say in a biased way, yes, I'm healing.
Yeah.
But where does this healing come from? Give me the root of it, that you see it.
Yeah, the root of it started as a little girl.
Okay.
I think I was around 4 or 5 years old. And I had this inner knowing of, I want to sing and I want to heal through singing. But what it really meant, what it took me quite a journey until here, to this very day. So I started a classical way of singing. And, I started to play piano, and there was this fascinating feeling of sound and just play, without notes, improvising. And then I started to go taking piano lessons, but I somehow realized it's not really getting there where my core is, in just
totally fulfilling. Absolutely.
Yes, in singing, in feeling, in going into it. And the teachers I had, they always wanted me to become a classical piano player. And then at the end, after I think 4 or 5 years, I had a jazz player and a jazz teacher, and she was very open to that improvisation, and she really pushed me. But then, unfortunately, she left the school, and so I stopped playing piano. But I kept on, I'm the type of person that sits on a piano and I just play, and then all of a sudden there is a certain sound that touches me, and then there are words coming through, and with time there is a song there, but it's never that thing of, now I'm sitting and I write a song. So that was always that access. So I went into that music thing with the hip hop scene, and I think there was the time we met, right? And that classic way, but somehow there was something missing. There was something, and I had a lot of opportunities and chances, but somehow it was like something bigger has another plan, And to accept that one was quite tough, that I feel there is something different for me.
Absolutely.
But I couldn't see it really,
Absolutely.
So next to that, I was, as a child, very, I had a strong intuition, a strong connection to the spiritual side that was always there. So I think around 18, 20, I started to really go and look out what is there, what it is about. And so I did my first healing training around 24, and there, with the techniques I learned, I add voice to it, and I found out that it changed so much in my work that I could go even deeper. And from there, it was quite a process to really get there where I'm now. To really can say, yes, I heal through sound, through my voice. I heal, and I work with groups, with people.
Beautiful. Now let me ask you this.
Yes.
Because I want this to be kind of a journey that we take on. So I don't want to go too fast, but I don't want to go too slow either. So backing up to the hip hop thing.
Yes.
Now, did you have this understanding that you have now, or did you have a part of this understanding that you have now when you were with the, what was that,
chocolate cheese and sounds.
Chocolate cheese and sounds. Exactly. And did you have an inkling, or did you have like there was something more, like in the beginning, or were you just happy to be there, happy to express your voice, and you hadn't come to that point yet? Or how was that?
Well, both of it. I was happy that I'm doing it because it felt like fulfilling, you know, something, I touched something which is really strong inside of me. But there was more.
Okay.
But not knowing yet what has to come.
Right. And did the other people around you, did they pick up on it? On that there was something more, or did they just encourage you to, just keep doing what you're doing and whatever? Or did they not even see it? I don't know.
No, well, not the spiritual part of it, but the singing, that was always there. People saw it, people told me, hey, you have to sing, you have to go on. And I had people around which were supporting me, really.
Right.
I mean, I was really surrounded with music people.
Right, exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. So let me ask you this, let me ask you in this way. Did you come to a point that you felt that you had to cut ties with all of that to find what you have today?
Yes.
Okay, tell me a little bit about that.
That's personal, but yes.
I told you we're going to...
I know. No, it's okay. Yes, many things I had in my mind and the concept and the dream I had was not working out. So there was a point on that journey where I was frustrated and really it was not working, It's whenever I wanted to go in a certain, like doing it as a career, like a classic career, it was not, something came in. So it went so far that I stopped everything. I said, okay, it's not my path, it's not the thing I have to do, it's not my purpose, And
that means you stopped music?
I stopped music, I stopped singing. Totally.
So whatever genre, whatever, you just...
I quit it all.
Okay.
And I really went, in that time, I was really in focusing more on spirituality, more on what is healing, what is my gift, and also I was interested always in what is soul, what is energy body, my wounds, from my childhood, my family system, ancestors, all this thing. I was very, very focused on that, and that helped me to understand and to get more aware in which direction it will go. So slowly, the singing came back, but more on that really work with people and really add sound to it.
That's really, really interesting. I was just listening at home to I forgot her name, but she's among many things that she does, she's a motivational speaker. And she was speaking about a similar thing that we're talking about now. And one thing that she said really stuck with me, and I want to share it with you and share it with my audience too, that she said she was at a point in her life where she had a child. It was, a single mother. She had a child.
Yes.
One child, and she had like $11 and something in the bank. She held her child in her arms, and she was kind of touching the baby at the stomach or something like this. I don't know how she was doing it. And she said that, don't worry. I promise myself and I promise you that I will never be this broken and down again. That was her starting point.
Yeah.
And from there, she realized, from that point, she said that in order for me to become that person that I know I am, I have to let go everything of the past that's been holding me back. I have to let it all go. You know?
Right.
And it was extremely difficult for her. She said it took her 3 years or something to do that, but she did it. So I'm saying that to you. That's what you were saying before. You had to let, that's why I asked you.
Yes.
You had to let go. And I think a lot of times people don't understand that. In order, they want, it's not that they don't want to be somewhere else.
Yeah.
But what they don't realize is that they have to let go.
Yes.
They have to let go, totally let go, in order for them to achieve that place that they need to be.
Right.
You know?
Right. Yes.
And you did that. That's beautiful.
Yes.
And you're still doing it. And the beautiful thing about it is that people say that, you know, also that, you know, well, okay, I've accomplished my goal. No. It's a journey. We
Right.
continue on. We
Yes.
continue on.
Yes.
Can you talk about that a little bit, maybe? I don't know.
Yes. The process of, the process of letting go is connected to a lot of pain. It's also, I felt like I failed, failure. Now looking at, watching myself back and in that time,
Right.
it was so important to let go. Because all the dreams I've made up, all the concepts, they were actually distracting me from myself and
Exactly.
for what was actually there and so obvious, actually, because I was so fixed on that idea, the way it should be. And I was totally sure that this is the path. It's at some stage in my healing process, it was like I put my will over God's will.
That's a no-no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, I was stubborn. I knew that's the path, and I think when you start to let go, you're also getting more humble, more
Absolutely.
down to earth.
1,000%.
Yeah.
1,000%. And the beautiful thing about it is that when you finally release yourself, because pretty much you've kept yourself in prison.
Yeah. Right.
For as long as you've been there.
Yes.
Whether you know it or not. Basically, you've been blaming it, not you per se, but people that are in this position. They blame so many other people for their circumstances.
And I did it.
Okay.
It happened to me,
Exactly.
that because of that one or
Right.
her or he, it
Exactly.
happens.
Exactly.
That's a natural thing.
Isn't it? Because nobody wants to take responsibility.
Yeah.
It's that person. If that
Right.
person was nicer to me,
Yes.
if that situation was better,
Right.
if those people had treated me in a certain way, if I had gotten that job,
Yeah.
if I had gone to that place, if I had eaten that
Absolutely.
food, if my bank was this, then I would be no.
It's not working.
It's not about the. I always talk about people about the surface.
Yes.
A lot of people are living on the surface.
Right.
It's about the root.
Yeah.
And the root starts with you.
Yes.
So
it ends and starts with
there you go. There you go. So it's like it's about the individual. It starts with the individual first.
Right.
So we can't blame anybody else for our what do you call it? For our what's the other opposite of failures? For our growth, if you will.
Yes.
Or our failures. We
Yes.
can't blame anybody else.
No, it's ours.
Whatever comes from the outside is extra. It's
Yes.
gravy.
Yes.
It doesn't start on the outside. But that's beautiful. A lot of times people don't, unfortunately, and I really mean this, Mabinty, that unfortunately, many people never realize that.
Yeah.
What we're talking about.
Yeah.
And they take it to the grave.
Right.
Or they get to the point on their deathbed and they say, coulda, woulda, shoulda.
Yes.
Too late.
Too late. Yeah.
Too late,
Yeah.
Too late. So, okay, we talked about that. I'm going to get back to that in a minute. Tell me a little bit more about your spiritual development and connected with singing.
Yeah. So what I realized in my childhood, that I have an access to sound. That sound, when I add sound, something changes, something gets bigger. And when I was listening to music, I realized that I was not listening actually to the words of the singer. I was in contact with the sound. So when I had certain problems, issues, then I listened to certain songs, music, and they left the body. You know, many times I went out for a walk or I was dancing. I mean, that's also very African. That's why we love to dance.
Hey.
It's about releasing tension. It's about let go of suffering or whatever is troubling you. So, and then on that journey, I always wanted to sing out from the moment. I didn't like, having notes, and I have to. I felt like trapped when I played.
It kind of was like a distraction.
Yes, I wanted to be free, and so that was one thing. Then the other thing was really that I had this strong intuition always, that inner knowing, that inner call which was guiding me, that fire. Actually through the trainings I did, I become more and more aware of myself. You know, who am I truly? Not what I want to be or who I want to be.
There you go.
Who is really me, and who is that singer? But I also realized there is a lot of shyness, a lot of, I felt always very, and still I do feel very vulnerable when I'm singing, because I'm showing something from my inside. You know, it's something I cannot hide.
Absolutely.
You know? And the moment I sing, it's so delicate. So I had to learn.
Right.
To hold that.
Right.
So I think that the growth in that helped me to hold it. And to come back to your question, so with times I could hear, that everything has a certain frequency. Everything has frequency, vibrating frequency makes a sound.
Absolutely.
So somewhere I can interact. If I do sound, I can interact with your heart, or with your bones, or with your blood circulation. There is a lot of research, science. We know a lot of things now, but we still have a way to go. And that's actually what for me, realized, that there is an inner knowing. But to really bring it in a rational way, and I can tell you I'm doing this and this and that, and this is the path, and this is how I do it, I can't. I can bring you words, I can explain it to you.
Hey, that's beautiful. That's beautiful, and I think that's really what the human spirit is about anyway. That was, as history has shown us, has told us, sound was the first form of communication.
Right. Right.
So that was before the word. That was sound is the first form of communication. Yes. So sometimes there's this, I don't know why I always go back to this, but there's this TV show called The Twilight Zone. And there's this one episode on the show where there was a community, and the way that they communicated was through telepathy.
Yes.
They didn't speak words at all. Telepathy, no matter where they were. And with telepathy, you can go much further than you can.
Right.
The information or what you're getting over to the person can go through walls, can go through whatever.
Right.
And And so there was just this one. Many of these people had moved off or had decided, okay, well now we want to start talking. So they had to like redevelop everything, whatever. And there was this one little girl who all she knew was telepathy.
Yeah.
And she was sent to a family or to a community where everybody was speaking, like talking, words. And it was like very difficult. It took her a long time to actually understand what they were saying because all she could, and it was just, like this. So I'm saying that to say about going back to the root, you know, and this is where we feel the most comfortable.
Yeah.
With sound.
Yes.
You know, back to Africa, for example. You were speaking of Africa. It's boom, 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 boom. It's sound.
Yes.
Sound and movement.
Yes.
Sound and movement, you know, and that's it. And if you want to go a little deeper, that's the heartbeat.
Right.
You know, that's the heartbeat. Yeah. So now we've almost done a half hour. Told you it goes by pretty fast.
Yeah.
Speaking of sound and movement, can you give me and my audience a little sound?
A little
and make them move a little bit with your beautiful healing voice, and I don't know, whatever instrument you want to play.
Yes.
And maybe I will accompany you.
Yeah, that would be great. Yeah. So.
And just before you go, and if there are anybody, if I'm sure there's anybody. Is there anybody out there? Now, for those of you that are out there, please write in and comment questions if you'd like to know more about Mabinty San and what she's doing and how she's doing it, and how maybe she can help you get to that next stage that you want to get to also. So, please.
Yes, so I just would like to connect first with you guys out there. I want to ask you to close your eyes and take some deep breaths and center in your heart center and be open and just be open, and we go from there, from the heart.
Wow. Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you very much. Now each session, if you will, I guess you would say session, I don't know, each session, um, being that it comes from your heart, you can't really label it, huh? There's no label, or is there something you can?
Well, label it. It's quite difficult, but I feel very strong connected, or if I am closing my eyes, I see a lot of, like spirits, and I see more those indigenous forces, let me put it like that, which are, I don't know if you hear it, but the voice is changing, and sometimes I hear more native Indians, and then Africa, and for me they are my friends, and they are like, we are doing this together.
Beautiful.
It's not really me alone. I just feel like I'm a channel, but also channeling my higher being with those, being whatever is needed for the audience in that moment. So it's not easy to label it.
So let's not.
Yes, I think, and I think it's an experience, it's really, for every person it's different. What I noticed in a session, when I do one-to-one session, is that when they have certain issues, patterns, we dive deep, and immediately when I use sound, there is a change. You can be very much in defense or control. But when I use sound, that, it gives another space, room for another space to open up and to see what is really disturbing you or distracting you on your path. So my goal is actually, or what I want, is to bring people back into their power, to their power with love. So we have a lot of power without love in this world,
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Let's go to a couple of questions here. The first one is interesting, but let's go to the second one. From which region in Africa does this sound come from? Can you even say it? I don't know.
No.
You can't really say it.
No.
Because it's from all over, right? It's
Yes.
Africa, you just said it.
Yes.
Africa, you said it's Native Indian.
Yes.
My mother, I'm sure she would say, because she calls me Red, she says, Red, that sounds like us. I can hear her talking.
Cool.
It sounds like us.
That sounds like us.
It's like, because she's done research, and her mother was full-blooded Cherokee Indian.
Oh, cool.
So which makes her half, and I guess makes me, makes me something too.
Yeah, of course. The blood runs through your vein too.
I guess so. Maybe that's why I can stand so long on stage. I don't know. But anyway. But so okay, let's continue the journey. So, all right.
Yes.
Different. You're healing with your voice. Do you also heal with your hands too?
Yes.
Okay. Can you explain that a little bit? How is that intertwined? How is that?
Well, I also realized I have energy in my hand, or I can be a channel and working with the hands on your energy field.
Okay.
So the two combined, sometimes when I work with clients, they need more help. So the energy helps as well in the hand.
Okay.
But actually, I don't need the hand. But sometimes it's just like a double, you can say like another different kind of support, working with the hands as well.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's interesting. And so basically, when you say you don't really need the hands, basically you don't necessarily touch you don't have to touch the body of the person. You
No,
can.
I
but
can.
in order for the energy to go through, you don't need to touch.
No.
Okay.
No. But if I work, like we have those energy cycles called chakra.
Exactly.
Sometimes
Absolutely.
it's good if you put a hand there and, increase the energy, and also with sounds. Or sometimes I go very close to the body because it's very stuffed there.
Okay.
So that the sound is even much stronger.
So basically, are you singing while healing with the hands too?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, that's actually how I started. I started first with 20 years ago with my hands, actually. The first healing education for years was really learning, techniques, just running the energy through your hands and working on your energy field. So then, somewhere, in that training, all of a sudden something came, use your voice, make sound, make a tone to it. And then I was like, whoops, that's another different thing, It's like, wow, different, even much more stronger, or maybe more me,
That's true.
I think it's all about who am I?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
In my life.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, another beautiful lady, if I may call you a beautiful lady, another beautiful lady that also has some of those qualities, if you will, is the focus artist of today. And you chose her, so we're going to talk about her right now.
Yes.
Drum roll. The one and only Miss Erykah Badou.
Badou.
Badou. I don't know if you know, somebody asked her one day, why are you calling you this Erykah Badou, whatever? I mean, you're American and you have an American name, this is a Badou, this and that. And she gave an explanation, which I thought was cool. I forgot what it was.
I forgot too.
You forgot it also. I was going to ask you what it was.
Yeah.
But tell me, what does this lady mean to you?
Well, Badou, her album, not this one, the one before, Badouism, came out, I think, around 97. That was the time when my, let's say, music career started, with the whole hip-hop thing.
Right.
So for me, she was someone, that was a whole new level for me, that I could really relate. It was, that neo-soul jazz and the hip-hop elements, but there was also that spiritual adding, that African somehow thing. Yeah. And I remember the first concert, I saw her at the Montreux Jazz Festival, and she was coming on stage, and she was burning an incense, and was just sitting, And I liked that, that she's so real. And I maybe it is also, when you admire someone, there is also something for you in there.
Absolutely.
So I could really relate with her on many levels, and I loved her songs and her music. And she has 3 kids with 3 different men. She there are many similarities. The way she's just going her path, So that's why I have chosen Erykah Badou, and she was like a friend, a close friend who was always there.
Absolutely.
With her sound, of course.
Absolutely, and I think you hit on that one thing that the reason that people are so attracted to her is because they find her realness.
Yes.
They really see that she's not pretentious. She's not trying to put on a fake game to please somebody.
No.
And she walks in her own confidence.
Yes.
Proudly.
Very proud. Yes.
And and she can get down with the best of them, and get up with the best of them. So let's go over here to the board here. Alan 734. I gotta meet this Alan 734 one day. Always there. What kind of illness can you treat with sound?
Ooh, that's a good question. Well, now I cannot promise that I can heal illness with sound. So this is something here in Switzerland. You have to be careful, with like promising. but I know there are several illnesses you can work with sound on, because an illness has a certain frequency. And so if you cure that illness with like the aim is actually to bring that frequency. Let's say illness has a low frequency,
Okay.
so to bring it on a higher frequency. So if you really do that, there can be healing in illnesses. I mean, the normal things, you know, I don't want to go now to cancer and all these things, but I mean, headaches, anxiety, depression, all these things you can work with sound on it, and you can heal. But you also, looking at illnesses, I come from a holistic approach. So for me, it's not only the body. An illness starts way before it ends in the body. Actually, the body is the last part. So that means the illness is, it already, how you say that, fortgeschritten?
It's already there, it's been there.
Yeah, you know,
there.
it starts in your energy field.
Exactly.
Like here, and then it gets manifested in your body.
Absolutely.
So then you have to see what is in your mental health, what is in your emotions, what is maybe on a soul level, on an ancestry level. So there are many, many layers you can heal. So sound can touch all these layers. Yes.
That's beautiful. That's
Yes.
great. I don't even have to ask you. I wasn't sure that answered your question. Alan
Hopefully.
734. But that's interesting you put it that way, because I've always thought too that a lot of times our thoughts, the way we carry ourselves,
Yes.
Meaning the things that we do, the people that we associate with, starts to formulate good vibes or bad vibes,
Yes.
which can formulate into something physical.
Yes. Right.
Right?
Right.
That goes inside of us,
Right.
which can turn out to be something unhealthy or healthy.
Right. Right.
Which
So-
turns into something physical. And then we get ill, or we get, this is how it happens, I guess.
Yes, this is a big part of it, how I carry myself through life. And of course, this is what, what kind of energy I'm surrounding myself, through food, through like thoughts, emotions, people, but it's also that we get conditioned in our childhood,
Exactly.
The wounds which will become hopefully gifts in a later or in another time, that we have to really go deep and see what are my wounds there, because childhood wounds can also manifest illness, but also, and that's another thing, for me it's clear there are past lives.
Yes.
You carry certain things from the past, even through your ancestors. So it's kind of a holistic thing, and to really go through all of this. So when I work with people, we are going through all of this. I'm looking at the person's life, It's not that you sit there and I sing and you get healed. That's not the thing,
Really?
It's I'm sorry.
I feel healed just sitting here listening. I mean, I feel a bit healed. I don't know.
Yeah, and of course I can create a certain vibe, and I can,
I
guide you and, support you, but you have to do actions. That what we talked before about the responsibility, and you have to do that, and you have the healing in you. What I can do is to bring it out and make it seen and visible and offer you a path to it. But walking, we all have to walk our path.
Right. You can maybe show the door, but they have to walk through it, open the door and walk through it.
Right.
You know?
So I don't have that approach to heal someone. It's kind of a partnership, you know.
Absolutely. Absolutely. 1000%.
Yeah.
1000%. Because basically what we're doing, everything that we encounter is a form of energy.
Yes.
So we're all dealing with energies,
Yes.
you know? And this is what I think a lot of people don't understand. They wonder why, excuse me, they wonder why they feel, you know, down or depressed or any type of feeling that they have, and they wonder why they're constantly feeling a certain way. It's because you're constantly doing the same thing.
Right.
This is why you're constantly feeling the same way.
Right.
If you would flip the script, you would feel a total different way.
Yeah, but you have to get aware of that.
This is
and that's
absolutely
the
true.
process, and that's the thing what most people don't want to do.
Yeah.
They prefer actually to stick there or to take a pill or something fast,
Absolutely, absolutely.
and then they get cured.
Let me ask you this: do you feel that people don't want to go that route? Let me ask you that. Why do you feel that people don't want to go that route?
Very often they bring up excuses.
Okay.
Like we said before, I cannot do it because of that, and you know, my parents were like this, and you know, I grew up like that. And I think one thing is also, I mean, it's a defense mechanism.
Okay, okay.
Because it's so easy to continue your habit. And something in us wants to continue, because even if it's bad for us, we know it. We know exactly what's going to happen, nothing.
Right.
You know? But that other thing,
We don't know.
I don't know what it
Exactly.
is. And what does it mean? And it's also the responsibility, fear of taking that.
That's the word I was looking for.
Yes, it's the fear.
Because I have, don't worry, I'm not going to call any names, but I have some relatives that I know of that, because of fear, they stick to a pattern
Right.
that they've been following from who knows how long.
Yes.
They probably couldn't even date it, but it's been a long time. You know, they've had this pattern. But you touched on something just a few seconds ago, that the reason they don't want to leave this is because they know this. I know this pattern. Yeah, I'm suffering. Yeah, I'm frustrated. Yes, I'm gonna feel pain. But I know this pain. I'm familiar
Right,
with this pain.
familiar. Right, that's the right word.
Right,
Yes.
I'm familiar with this pain.
Yes.
I'm not familiar with what you're talking about. That it sounds good, you know, and I would love to be there and love to stay there, but I don't know. I better stick with what I know. So they're going to be there and they're going to take it to the grave.
Yes.
But those that are able to disconnect, to cut away from that,
Yeah.
and just attempt, try it out. You already know you're in pain, so what more can happen? More pain? You know that, so you know the pain. But what about if you find happiness, beauty, love, strength? You know, try that other thing. But it's fear. But I want to touch on this real quick.
Yeah.
I know.
I
Thank
was-
you. Thank you. I
I was
appreciate
thinking
that.
about that. I was like, Reggie, do you
Yeah.
need something?
Yeah, I need a lozenge. But it's all good. It's all good. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, Alan734. But we're talking soul-licious here. I'll be good. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I'll be good. But now I really want to meet you. So, no, but it's about we talk about healing, but you mentioned also about purpose. One finding their purpose in life. And I think once you find your purpose, then it's easier for you to maybe disconnect from the things that you feel that are holding you back.
Yes.
Would you agree with that?
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Totally.
And do you feel that you found your purpose and you can expound on your purpose? You know, you can grow from, I don't know, where are you now?
Where am I? Yeah, where am I now? I feel that I found my purpose, yes.
Okay.
But I'm on the way to growing. Growing for me never ends in that way. I feel like there are stages and then you're like, okay, cool, I'm there, I know it now. And then the next lesson is coming.
Exactly.
You know, and I think this is life. Life is growing, evolving.
Exactly.
You know, but I feel like with the healing work I'm doing, with the sounding I'm doing, I know that is my purpose. I know that is my path. Where it leads me to, I don't know. What will come, I don't know.
Are you afraid?
No, not anymore. I know that I'm safe. You know, I think one thing from my journey is that I had to learn to follow my inner voice, to follow that inner guidance. Then I'm safe.
Okay.
All the times I was not listening to my inner voice, I was not following me, that inner spirit, I got smacked in my face. So now I know this is, you know, that doesn't mean nothing happens. That doesn't mean I don't have my ups and downs, you know, it's not, that's not life. Life is not about perfect and always happy. But it gives you kind of it gives me a certain grounding, a certain vessel, a container, a security, a support that I know, I'm on the right track. Definitely. Much more than 20 years ago.
Speaking of 20 years ago, and bringing it to today, and talking about change, this is, for me, but it's also for the audience too.
Yeah.
If you can say in a nutshell, what were some of the things that you changed in your life? That you can concretely, that you can say, okay, I made that change, and because I made that change, I am where I am today. I'm at the mindset, I connected the heart and the mind. I'm there. Can you expound on that? Can you talk about that?
As I said before, listening to myself, listening to my inner. We all have that inner voice, and it's constantly talking.
Okay.
It's not so loud, but it's constantly. I dream a lot. I mean, even if I go outside now, I can meet someone and the energy is talking to me and telling me things. So being aware and notice these things, but what really helped me, I mean, I think one thing is really following what is in here.
Right.
Get rid of the concepts, the ideas. And these are processes. It's not like, oh, I have a concept and I have to let it go. It's kind of, you know, it's a journey getting there. And that one is so individual, like we have people, that, you know. But for me, it's trusting. I was so much looking for trust outside. And the more I was looking for trust outside, the more I started losing myself. And I realized at certain points, you know, through situations where I trusted maybe that person more than my inner voice, which was always saying, hey, be careful, you cannot trust there, or, you know, it's very basic.
Right.
And with time, when you have that 10 times or 20 times or 50 times, then you learn, mostly. You learn. So I think that the changing point was really when I started to respect myself, to respect my inner, to respect my insides, not get lost in the outside, not so much being with the others, being with myself, stick with myself. What do I want? Where, you know? yeah, and I did therapy, you know. I think it's very important if you have patterns that you look for someone, that you look for support. It's nothing to be ashamed of or,
Right,
you
absolutely
know,
not.
get your help.
We all need help. We all need help.
We all need
1,000%.
it, you know,
Absolutely.
in whatever form that supports you. Yeah.
Let me ask you this before we go,
Yeah.
because it's been a beautiful, informative conversation. Sitting on the park bench. So before I just want to ask you this, or maybe you can just, I don't know, confirm it if you will, how you feel, that by coming to the stage of where you are you able to see the, the how can I say, the false faces that come to you clearly, more so than you were able to see it before? You understand what I'm saying? Like the people that are trying to, they come in with a smile, but you know what's behind the smile.
Yeah.
You're able to see that much
I able to
faster
see that.
inside.
I always could see that, but I was not trusting.
There you go.
You know, now that's also part of my gift. I can look at someone and I know what's going on.
There you go. Absolutely.
And I trust my first instincts.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Mabinty San, this has been
Rich.
beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
This has been great. I hope you feel comfortable.
Very much, very much.
Very much comfortable.
Yes, the
Beautiful.
host with the most.
Beautiful.
No,
You heard
really.
it. You
No,
heard it.
really. It's so cozy here and, chilling, really. It was a
Welcome.
pleasure.
Can you take us out with some music, some beautiful, lovely vibes, some spiritual, beautiful, lovely vibes?
Yeah.
Just before, so we can go.
Let's see.
As I'm closing the show. You take us.
And you sing too.
Yeah, but I'm gonna take the show out though. You sing, I'll take the show out.
I feel free, thanks to Reggie for this beautiful eve and that interesting conversation. Oh, Reggie, I feel so free, so happy to be with thee.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, there you go. You have it. You've heard it all. I want to thank from the bottom of my heart to the whole core of my heart, whatever parts in my heart, to the wonderful, the amazing, the loving, giving woman, Mabinty San. And it's been such a pleasure. And the bigger my show gets, the more I'm going to have all of the special people back, and you're definitely on the top of the list to come back. So I think I know what you have, we all need.
Thank you so
And
much.
you're so willing to give it, and you're so willing
Yes,
to
I
give
am.
it. So thank you very much. So thank you very much also out there for all of those beautiful listeners and for those of you that wrote in. I am the host with the most, Reggie Saunders, and please join me on my next show where I'll have another beautiful singer. Her name is Janet Dawkins, and we're gonna come and we're gonna spread the love. All right. So until next time, stay healthy, stay happy, peace, soulicious. Reggie out. Yeah.